So I was talking this morning at one of the net zero sessions. We were talking about the policy, environment and landscape that we were working within. And I was particularly talking from the perspective of social housing provider and the journey that we're going on. So the first element of that journey for us is bringing all of our homes up to EPCC. And then the second element of that journey is taking them from EPC to net zero. And I was just talking around mainly some of the challenges associated with that, in particular the really significant financial challenge of getting from EPCC to net zero, but also some of the other challenges that we've got around that whole agenda. So taking customers on the journey, supply chain and skills constraints, forecasting what's going to happen in the future, betting on new technologies, all of that sort of area. I think it's a really challenging time for the whole sector at the moment. There are a number of funding demands in relation to our current housing stock. So we know that a lot of our stock, irrespective of what sector it's in, so whether it's social stock, private rented sector homes or owner occupied, a lot of them are really quite old homes that were built a number of years ago and don't necessarily meet the aspirations or lifestyles or needs or expectations of the modern day. So you've got issues from damp and mold through to thermal efficiency, through to sort of just general issues around sort of whether or not homes meet lifestyle, particularly given that we've had post-COVID the shift in ways of working. You know, people are looking to things from their home that maybe they didn't previously. So I think that for our customers that are living there, it's around, how do we best cater to all of those needs and expectations, but also from a financial perspective, it's how do we cater for those whilst also continuing to build new homes to meet the supply challenges that we've got. At Karbon, what we're doing is we're focusing in terms of environmental efficiency on taking a fabric first approach. So in particular at the moment, it's things like external wall insulation, loft insulation, so forth. We're also doing a number of pilots, so they're quite varied. For instance, we've got a reasonably limited number of high rises, but in properties like high rises that are limited in terms of the heating solutions, we're piloting things like mirrors in bathrooms that also act as radiators. We've got a new development pilot at the moment that's looking at the potential role that battery storage and cell back, combined with solar panels, might be able to use in the future. And then also what we're doing in a number of new developments is building new homes, but then measuring people's actual energy consumption when they move in, just to see whether or not the performance lives up to our prior expectations. In terms of sort of our approach towards net zero, we've sort of decided that there's no one size fits all solution. So we've always used heat pumps to a certain extent with our developments because some of the areas which we develop are quite rural and off-grid. But we know that we've got quite mixed feedback from customers. And so part of it is about, where does it work, where doesn't it work? And then one of the things that we're working on is just, working with customers in relation to changing people's expectations of how they might be heating their home in the future and sort of differences in lifestyle that might sort of bring about. So my involvement in CIH, dates back several years now, and it started when I joined the Policy Advisory Committee, which I now chair. And that committee really looks at what are the main sort of policy changes that are going on within sort of government that's going to impact on the sector or our customers within the sector, but also it helps to coordinate and pull together what CIH's responses should be to those, but also what they should be feeding into things like, in particular, budget submissions and spending review submissions as well. So there's a small group of us from a range of members who are drawn from different perspectives. So I'm from a housing association, we've got people from local authorities there. We've also got people with maybe more of a background in sort of an academic interest, some with more of a customer background. So pooling all of our joint sort of experience and expertise and representing sort of the wider interests of the sector, and then, as I said, informing CIH's policy responses.